go out of the end zone. The halftime stats trump an ugly story for the Oilers.
That's a well-used word. Ugly stats. Time of possession, 36 total yards, of which 25 Houston got in the last minute of the first half. 1 first down came on 1 completion at the end of the first half. 1 yard rushing. They had 195 last week.
We got a lot of draws up the middle from Lorenzo White. Chuck Studley, the defensive line coach of the Bengals, said yesterday they couldn't run us last time and they won't run us tomorrow. I mean, heaven. Last time the Oilers were in here 2 weeks ago, 22 yards rushing on 11 carries. Lorenzo White, nothing. Down at the 20. Crumry and David Grant.
Well, people all season long have been trying to figure out what to do against this run-and-shoot offense, and maybe the Bengals have found something. Here's Barney Bussey coming to the line of scrimmage. The defense gives the offense the 5 in the count zone look, and then Bussey cheats up there to assist on the tackle. It worked 2 weeks ago. It's worked today. So he doesn't make the tackle, but he consumes a blocker.
Jumping in and out, taking different alignments over the center, downfield throw. It is taken down, then lost by Haywood Jeffries. One thing we've seen is Carlson can get it downfield. So far, not with any effectiveness as far as the pass catch, but he's got a very strong arm.
I do think that Kevin Gilbride's observation last night, that Cody Carlson takes a third of the snaps in practice with or without Warren Moon, but the problem is you can't duplicate the game speed in practice. And Carlson looks very quick in his delivery. And that's really upset the timing of the run and shoot today.
3rd and 10. In a hole again is Carlson and the Oiler offense. Snap down. David Grant gets another. He does deliver a low throw. The Steelers knocked down 3 or 4 of his passes last week.
Which is surprising because Carlson is 6'4". But Warren Moon has that straight overhand delivery. Carlson, you'll notice, is about 3/4. And the stunt again up front. Grant comes around and he just, that's twice. He just put his hand up there and knocked the ball out. Pure luck. But it just totally stifled this Houston Oilers run and shoot offense today.
Greg Montgomery, a long-distance punter from Michigan State, hits the ball very well. Big charge into it. Mitchell Price is back to his 33. Breaks it. Races on. Montgomery has a shot, and he gets him.
This is a 47-yard punt by Montgomery. That's the good news. The bad news is it's a 36-yard return, a net 9. 25 McDowell and the punter able to get him down.
So while things went good in the first half, they get even better to start the 3rd quarter as the Bengals start a drive inside the Oilers' 35-yard line. Dickie Woods doesn't get much. Ray Childress and John Grimsley on the stop.
Don, I noticed in the first half that Bruce Reimers went out with an ankle injury. He's been replaced at left guard by Paul Giton. The Bengals have a couple of injuries they have to concern themselves with. Reimers an excellent offensive guard. You see, actually Moyers has gone to left guard, and Giton, 68, is at right guard. There's Giton there. Go through his hands. Giasson was right where it had to be with the throw. Splitting 2 defenders, and Holman, normally sure-handed, couldn't hold it. He had 3 guys around him. I mean, it was crowded down there. There's McDowell, 25. Grimsley, 59 on the inside. And Kennard, 27. And Boomer throws it very well, and it just slips through Rodney Holman's hand. Man, I can't throw it much better than that.
Now it is 3rd down for Cincinnati. Early in the 3rd quarter with the Bengals in the lead, 20-0. 3rd and 8. Boomer taken off inside the 15 and the 10. He heads down close and slides to a halt at the 3.
27-yard pickup. You see everybody rotate out of there. He gets by Grimsley, 59. Well, this has been awful easy for Cincinnati against a very good Houston Oilers defense, but it just played too much on this particular day.
Out there all day have the Oilers defenders. First and goal. Eric Ball leaves, breaks the tackle, gets to the 3. He got 2. Coach White looks over the probabilities. Safeties made the tackle there. Bubba McDowell and Terry Kennard for Houston.
You know, he was telling us yesterday when we were down at Spinney Field, he said, I am so confident in our ability to beat Houston. He said, it scares me. I'm afraid I'm overconfident.
Well, what he really liked, as you know, Trump, knowing him as well as you did, was the play of his defense. The Oilers really have had problems moving the ball at all today. Cincinnati's defense has really come up in the last half of the season. Eric Ball down close, he's in.
This is getting ugly.
Maybe the Bengals, Trump, would like to take some of these points with him to L.A. next week.
Maybe uglier is a better word.
Jim Breach getting it all right again today, and the Bengals have opened up a 27-0 knockout of the Oilers.
So Cincinnati well on top, and obviously they'll be in the second round. So here's a quick look at how they finished the game.
Boomer rolling out, might take it himself, looks for a block and gets it, and he heads in. Ilson throws, makes the connection, and hitting on him is Ernest Gibbons. And the Oilers are on the board. I thought they'd get a big ovation, but that touchdown greeted with a deafening silence. Here's a throw and a touchdown. Eric Pettis. Touchdown to Ernest Gibbons.
And that was all the scoring on the day. The Oilers were beaten even worse than that 40-20 thrashing in Week 16. Final score, 41-14, Bengals. And here's the AFC playoff picture for the second round. Miami will play at Buffalo, and remember in Week 16, Buffalo beat the Dolphins 24-14. Then on Sunday, it's Cincinnati visiting the Raiders in Los Angeles, and last time they played was in Week 15. It was a 24-7 win by the Raiders. Joey, your thoughts on those two games?
Really, I think that the Raiders have the edge. The Raiders have the edge on that game because they're physical, they're tough, they can run the football. And Buffalo has the same qualities that Miami doesn't like. I think what we're looking for is probably a Buffalo Raider matchup of two physical, tough football teams.
Any pick in that game?
I'll go with the Raiders because they're not really nice people. I sort of like people that aren't real nice.
I've noticed that.
Yes.
You like me
I like
so
you
good.
a little bit, yeah.
We're now going for a break. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all enjoying the program as much as me and Jerry. Now it's time to go to Gary, who's in Cincinnati's locker room for some post-game interviews.
But we really had a great day. This was a team effort all the way, and I have to just go ahead and accept somebody. I'm sure somebody will mention the fact that we dominated that ball game, and rarely do you dominate a football team as good as the Houston Oilers. I don't know why. The weather cannot be that much of a factor because this really was not a miserable day. We just had one of those special days where everybody was really into it. We felt so good about this before the game started. that it almost made me nervous. I was so sure we were going to win this ball game and win it handily. We just had that feeling, and rarely do you have that feeling and go in there and watch it unfold like that.
Anthony, great victory for you, but an expensive one in terms of injuries. How are you looking towards the Raiders?
Well, Bruce Reimer's, wrenched his ankle pretty good. Hopefully he'll be back. James Brooks, really not sure on his status right now. I heard he dislocated the thumb, so I guess that's just a matter of seeing what can be done with the some protection on that. So hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully, with the week before the game, it'll give us some time to heal.
The Oilers didn't execute today, but it seemed that you executed in every department brilliantly.
Well, I think it's a matter of not executing and, the other team playing well. We knew coming into this game that we had to execute, so we started out offensively and things worked for us. We took the ball down the first time and we were successful and we scored. And then our defense played a tremendous game. I mean, to hold an offense like they have to what they did, I mean, you got to give our defense a lot of credit.
Mick, the irony of this Bengals victory is that in showing how devastating their offense can be when they have everyone available and healthy, they've ended up with some injuries to key personnel. In particular, James Brooks, whose dislocated thumb is giving the most cause for concern in the Bengals locker room. Of course, next Sunday they face a long trip to the West Coast to play a Raiders team which will have had the benefit of 2 weeks rest. So it'll be a busy week this week in the Bengals treatment room.
Thanks, Gary. Well, another man that's feeling sick is Jerry. First, because one of those two teams went through, but also seeing the New Orleans Saints. They're in the fourth game of this weekend. It's now being played at Soldier Field in Chicago. What are your thoughts on them getting into the playoffs?
Well, really, it's probably their worst record they've had in 3 years, and they haven't been able to make the playoffs. So here they are at 8-8, and they get in. When they really deserved to get in 2 years ago, they won 10. I think last year they won 9. So it's funny with the new addition, they're there. Neither team has a quarterback. I think Tomaszak has a chance to improve and get better. I'm not so sure that Walsh can. So the better quarterback out of two bad ones would be the one in Chicago. So they'll win it.
All right, well, we've now got a chance to go to Soldier Field. The Bears are leading at 10-0. Kevin Butler kicked a 19-yard field goal, and then Mike Tomczak threw a touchdown pass to James Thornton. Anderson has just missed a field goal for the Saints, and now we're joining play. The Bears have the ball.
Number 2 rushing team in the NFL. They had the lead for much of the year. And there's a tape job going on the Chicago bench. They will bring the chains out and measure. Yesterday, what a thrilling game that was. Miami over Kansas City. And if you care for guys at all, your heart had to go out to Steve DeBerg at the end of that game. Washington over Philadelphia 20-6. So Joe Gibbs and the Redskins at home watching this one to find out where they go next week.
I think yesterday 2 of the better coaches that ever coached in this league won games, and Joe Gibbs and his staff at Washington and Don Shula and his staff in Miami. 2 of the better coaches that have ever coached in the NFL.
And what a thrill for the Dolphins to be victorious at home and in the thick of things once again. 3rd and 1 officially. That's James Coley, the second tight end. That's Brad Mustard, who doesn't get much. Boy, was he popped by Sam Mills.
Tell you can't run in there straight up against Sam Mills. I mean, Sam Mills is built in a tackling position. And listen to this one when you go in there standing straight up.
Tis a gentle game.
I'll tell you, that's knocking them back where they came from. What those inside linebackers are supposed to do, Sam Mills and Vaughn Johnson, they're in there. They're supposed to be free. When they get free in that short yardage, they got to hit them back to where they started.
Got it. Sam Mills, whose nickname is Field Mouse. Built like one.
I was rather thinking, what do we have to do? I mean, we put a hit like that and the guy still gets a first down.
Up the middle, Chicago with 29 yards, New Orleans, and both these teams feature the ground game.
Well, Mike Ditka says that it's a lot easier to run up the middle straight ahead than it is the sides on this field.
Tomczak, one hopper intended for Mustard. Well, some folks are hard to convince.
They aren't going to let him off the hook here.
No, Chicago's a tough town.
Well, it usually isn't. And the funny thing about it is
You think that this is the kind of place, and now they're coming back and realizing, hey, we were stupid to boo the guy. Here's a guy, Mike Tomczak's a local guy. He's from Chicago.
Right.
Played high school football here. He was a free agent, not even drafted. Playing for the local team, kind of a blue-collar guy.
Coached by his dad, and he is 22-10 as a starter for this team. So it's not as if he hasn't done something. Well, oh boy. Ronaldo Turnbull got in that time. Number 97. That is his 10th sack of the season.
Well, you know, this is a matchup. Turnbull starts here. He was playing the other side, but they put him on this side to get the matchup with these two guys over here, thinking that from the left side, his quickness will be a little better. And on that one, he just went right through. He just split Thayer and Van Horn. Old Tomczak, he was trying to look downfield, but you can't look downfield when a guy's coming straight up the middle on you.
3rd and 7.
Jerry, you liked that last hit there.
It's face-to-face, really good hit. But they don't have time. You don't have that kind of protections. The Saints have a great defense, put great pressure on the quarterback. They're fun to watch. They play a nasty, tough brand of football.
All right, well, thanks very much for being with me on this early program.
Oh, I loved it. Thanks for having me.
We will, of course, be back next Sunday at 8:30, but we'll also be back later tonight at 12:20 with highlights of that Bears-Saints game. Right now, the Bears are winning it 10-0. So until next week, good night.